This once happened to me when I worked at Macy's. I'm Justin.
I don't like zombies, but I draw the line at space zombies. This shit pisses me off. I'm Sam.
Happy Thanksgiving! I'm Jackie, and this is Black Friday on Stink of Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, celebrating the horrible, horrible event that exists the day after Turkey Day. It's called Black Friday, streaming on Amazon Prime, starring Bruce Campbell, the guy from Final Destination.
Mm-hmm. Michael J. White was in there.
Oh, Michael J. White! Yes! Yeah. From that terrible, terrible, terrible movie called Spawn that disappointed all of us. Yeah, Black Friday. 2023 or 2021?
2021.
Okay.
Which interestingly raises a question, because I never did any of it, but I knew that it started to really it starts at midnight on Thursday. Then it was like 10 o'clock on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was like, fuck it, we're just going to be Black Friday, all Thanksgiving. And then the pandemic hit.
Right.
And that got backed off. Is it, Jackie, is it back where it was, where it's just like, fuck it, we're going to go at 4 on Thursday?
Well, now all the stores are having Black Friday all week long. And it's already started. It started today.
So,
yeah,
which is a Sunday before Thanksgiving. So now you can go online and get Black Friday deals.
So there's no Black Friday anymore?
Not really.
Okay.
And, the discounts are not as good this year either. They're like 30% off, which is worse than the regular deals that they run throughout the regular shopping season. So it's kind of a fucking joke.
Because there's no doorbusters. That's the whole point of Black Friday, is to get that, whoever wrote this movie sadly didn't do a great job, but it is clear that they have worked retail before because they know a shitload about how it works. And that's how they explain it in this movie. That's what you do. You have doorbusters, you get those butts in, and then you sell them on all the other crap. And that's how Black Friday is not a bankruptcy fest for all of the retail stores out there. But now you take that away, because it's all online. Well, there's no point in a doorbuster. What are you going to do? Hey, look at that great deal over there. Well, now I'm not going to buy that other crap too.
Well, and the one thing is that I can't remember which store it is, but they were advertising that their doorbusters are online. So,
but then that defeats the point of the doorbuster.
That's not a doorbuster.
Yeah. And Home Depot used to have a doorbuster, which was they would have like a special Christmas item, and they used to do nutcrackers that would light up, and they could be indoor or outdoor nutcrackers. We actually bought some a couple of years ago,
right? And
they changed the style every year, and they only have so many, and that was their doorbuster, and they were like $15, and they were a super super killer deal. And I always went there right when they opened so I could get one. The last couple of years, they haven't done anything like that, and it's like, no, I'm not going to go to I'm not going to waste my time going to fucking Home Depot.
No, it's bullshit. They shouldn't even be involved in that. They could give me door busting if they were like 2 for $1 sob lids. I was like, get the fuck out of the way. I'm coming hard. Nutcracker, give me a break.
Subway could get me with some door busting sandwiches. I'd be there. I'd be lining up. 2 for $1 footlongs. Hell yeah.
So they mail out the coupons. I get the coupons. I eat at Subway a lot because the 2 for $1 footlongs is a great deal. The regular price of the footlong sucks. I'm never going to do it. But I use 2 of those coupons a month at work because 2 for $1 footlongs.
2 for $1 footlongs. Light them up.
Light them up.
I worked Black Friday 1 year in retail. It sucked because I sold mattresses. That was my job. And guess what people aren't buying on Black Friday? So I was quite bored.
Mattresses?
Yeah, they're not there to buy mattresses. Oh, honey, you want to chuck $4,000 down this Christmas on a mattress? No, she said, because they're not on sale. There's no such, what are you going to do? A doorbuster on a mattress? Okay, well, now it's $3,000. No, it's not, if you go work at mattress firm or something, but, we're selling nice mattresses. So I was real bored on the only Black Friday I ever worked. Jackie, you probably worked some Black Fridays in your younger years.
I actually never did.
Oh, really?
Because by the time that I was done with retail, I was out of high school, and I only worked retail during high school. So,
okay.
Well, I guess I worked at
the Hastings, yeah.
But I never had to work a Black Friday because I was an asshole, and they knew better than to put me into the Black Friday. Like, I was the night manager for a reason.
Also, their shit was just cheap all the time.
Right.
Yeah, so
Black
they never
Friday.
really,
every Friday.
They really didn't have a Black Friday. So, like, I never had to work. But then when I worked at, like, Kmart, I was in high school, so they couldn't make me work the overnight shift because I was a minor.
Yeah,
so
curfew.
I never had to do it. But man, I remember the first time I took Justin out to Black Friday, and I wanted these action figures, and they hadn't opened the pallet yet because Walmart was having these timed sales to try to, mitigate stagger the craziness. And so I just popped out my car keys and slit the pallet open and grabbed what I wanted.
She's a villain, folks. A retail villain. They have whole departments, loss prevention for ladies like her.
Yeah.
I mean, you still bought it. You just took it early.
She never said she bought it.
Yeah, I did. I bought it.
I know, I'm teasing.
I just waited until the sale started and then I checked out.
Right? Yeah, it's not a pleasant experience. I think the world is probably better off without the retail, the go to the store thing. I'm glad that that's
sure.
People would get hurt. People would get hurt for this crap. Fist fights, ladies pulling each other's hair, old people getting knocked into freaking shelves, and then the shelves, tumble down, and oh god, it's mayhem. I'm glad we're not doing that. We're better. We're better because of it.
Yeah, I had one year where I was trying to buy the Jumanji game. And when Jumanji was really popular when it first came out, and
what the fuck? Jumanji was popular?
Yeah, right. I don't remember.
Yeah,
like on the heels of the Robin Williams film, or is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, and I turned my back to look at something else, and some lady came up behind me and grabbed it out of my cart, and I had to turn around and grab it out of her hands, and I'm like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" And she was like, "I need this for my grandson," and then she spit at me. And I just let her have it at that point because I'm like, that's some desperate shit right there.
She does the cat thing.
You can have it, lady.
Yeah.
Fucking weird, man. God damn it. Okay, yeah. If Jeff Bezos has done one good thing, I guess it's eliminating Black Friday. It's just too bad that he's done a myriad of other terrible things.
But they're not doing the 4 to noon at Thursday now.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem like it.
I'm curious. I'm asking. They're not doing that anymore? Are they not doing that anymore?
According to the expert.
Can you have Thanksgiving again finally?
According to the expert.
Let me just check here. Black.
This is what we came for. Don't ask Jackie questions, Sam. She'll we're supposed to be talking about a movie. But
anyway, the director Casey Tebow is not related to Tim Tebow. And I was able to ascertain that with a little skill I call spelling.
Hey, how come Tim Tebow? Nice.
Because it's spelled differently. What if he's like, oh yeah, there's no W.
How come Tim Tebow could take a knee, but Colin Kaepernick couldn't? Huh? Answer that. Tell me that. Huh?
Because he was white.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
That's the answer.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check here from the horse's mouth. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Because he was kneeling for Jesus, which is okay, because kneeling for police brutality is bullshit.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
What do we got? Is it happening still?
It is. So JCPenney's got a 5 a.m.er, and it looks like Target's open early. Kohl's is right now. So a lot of these are right now, but on the day of...
places that only people that liked that sort of shit would shop, because Target, JCPenney's, and Kohl's, you've just named 3 places I'm not going ever.
Right.
I actually bought shampoo at Target because I didn't want to fight the traffic, and I was like, wow, fighting traffic would be so much better than this. They had... I don't want to start. We're going to back to the movie.
Yeah, back to Tebow.
So Tebow, which is Tebo, not with a W. Mm-hmm. He did mostly music-related stuff, like music videos and live concert to video, I guess. You know what that is when you watch the whole... They like do a special gig where it's getting
the Eras
and
tour.
You buy that if you're a fan. Like Aerosmith. There's a band I've never even heard of that he did 2 for called Black Veil Brides.
Okay.
Looked them up. It seems like a Motley Crue-ish sort of thing. It's like a retrospective of glam rock, but they're not like... They're being serious about it, I guess. I don't know. Not for me.
Okay.
He also did a documentary called Barely Legal about weed that was in the same year as this, I guess. And then a movie called Happy Birthday that has Steven Tyler in it.
Okay.
So he's really only done 2 features. Looks like he's doing another feature-length film soon. We'll see when that is. But doesn't have a long list of things that aren't in the music industry. The female lead in this is I'm first on the credit list apparently is Ivana Baquero.
Ivana Baquero too.
She was the girl in Pan's Labyrinth, and it's been not as good since then apparently.
Really? That's that is a descent.
Yeah, she did a couple of TV shows. She was the principal lead female in the Shannara Chronicles, which if that would have tracked like Austin Butler, she'd be on top of the world because Austin Butler was in that horse shit too. Did you watch the first season of that, didn't you, Jackie? The Shannara business?
No.
Okay, I watched the first. I couldn't get into the second. It was too fucking... It was like the part of the Lord of the Rings where they're walking around with any of the good parts. It was just walking around the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's the girl from Pan's Labyrinth, and she's in this. Devon Sawa is who you were talking about from Final Destination, but you forgot the one that he was in that was probably more awesome, even though Final Destination at this point is kind of becoming a big deal. I feel like at this point, like we got to look back at Final Destination and go, that was pretty good for this genre. That's kind of a high point. But he was also the guy in Idle Hands. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah, he was. And Idle Hands is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Idle Hands is fun. It's a lot more fun than Final Destination. I'm just saying that in the relevance of the horror genre, like Final Destination is starting to become kind of a high peak.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was also in The Little Giants, which I liked.
Don't know that one.
You didn't see Little Giants with Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, now I know what you're talking about.
He's the main kid in that, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that were child actors that have done okay or
Bruce
not.
Campbell.
No, Ryan Lee, the guy that's the other person of the 3 of them that lives. He was one of the kids in Super 8, I guess. So, yeah. How about that? And then you got Michael Jai White was there for a day, probably. Bruce Campbell, I can't imagine being there for longer than a day, so he can get a lot done in a day.
He had a producer credit, so I imagine he was a little bit more involved in this movie than just showing up.
3 days.
Yeah. I don't know. Supposedly he does quite a bit when it comes to production. He's learned a lot from the old Sam Raimi. So he probably helped. What do they call them? The schleps, not the schleps. What was the? God damn it! Sorry, Gervy Bruce, if you're listening, which you're not. I wish you were. Be my friend and my neighbor and my dad.
Whoa.
God damn it! He's got him and Sam Raimi and a couple of the other guys. They've got a term for the general purpose movie worker, the guy that you know what? I'll just do it.
Production assistant.
Yeah, but
they call...
you don't get a title for doing that. The stooge. It's schlep. It's not schlep. What are the names of the stooges? The fourth stooge. Larry Moe, Curly, and
Merle.
Schmank. Yeah, schmank. I don't know. It's that. That's their term. So he probably did
Shemp.
a lot of. Yeah, that. Thank you. He
Jesus.
probably did a lot of that.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I would say that when I was watching this, I was like, budget. I thought it was actually kind of. It exceeded expectations for how much I could tell that they were spending on this, but I bet that there was one guy that had a really tough job.
Yeah.
On this movie. They shot this in a Babies R Us, but it wasn't full of Babies R Us shit for the most part.
Correct.
The property manager had a heavy lift because they had to, and even though you only see so many shelves with crap on there, there was a guy that had maybe a couple of production assistants, probably not any, that had to make those 2 shelves look like a normal Best Buy retail environment and make sure all that stuff got taken back for full refund purposes.
Yes, right.
And
exactly.
So the property manager probably had a heavy lift on this one. They never really get the kudos. The property managers
give them a real American heroes. That's what we need for them.
How would you like to be the guy though that has to go back and return all that shit?
It suck.
That's the property manager. It sucks.
It suck.
If you're on a good sized movie, you get like 2 or 3 production assistants to help you. And one of them is probably trusted by you that's done it before a couple times, because it's not like a lot of times with stuff, there isn't as much property and they didn't have to unbox stuff, which is good because that made it easier to take back. But a lot of stuff that you see in a movie, like TVs and shit like that, they will just buy it and then box it back up like they never took it out and take it back like 2 weeks later.
Yeah. Mr. Take back the stuff after filming.
That would suck so hard.
Standing in line.
Why when I was first doing film in college or whatever, they'd bring people in that the people that used to go here that are now successful in filmmaking. And like the third guy that came in was a property manager. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this professionally. It seems like the ladder's pretty high and it starts pretty low.
Man, I once did a website for a company that did comps. Comps are, for the people who don't know, are the fake products, in movies where they're not going to pay Raisin Bran for copyright. So it's Raisin Cran cereal type stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys were raking it in. I mean, I really should have done long-term work for them because that would have been a pretty good gig. But yeah, comp makers, they make a lot of fucking money.
I bet. Yeah, art department's a cool job. Property manager's like not the coolest job. Yeah. Anyway, other than that, like there's not much to this movie. It's really just a real fast and dirty budget picture. Seth Green was apparently the voice of the bear.
Okay.
That is barely relevant to the plot of this film at all.
Did it have any theatrical release at all, or was this DTV?
This seems DTV.
Seems that way, but there was a couple of reviews on IMDb that said that they saw it in the theater, so that's why I'm curious. Did they get a special screening, or was it actually... Because I kind of remember this coming out. I kind of remember Groovy Bruce talking about it, but... Because he was excited, which makes me think that maybe it did get a little, but...
Yes. It did. It showed to the tune of $1,500.
Okay, that's a pretty limited release then. So, yeah, pretty much DTV.
You saw this at the theater in Medford, Oregon, because that's where he wanted to show it, I guess.
Bruce's garage. All right, pay me $100. I don't have a very good Groovy Bruce impression, but nobody does because he's fucking Bruce Campbell. He's impossible. They only made one of him. God, I've watched an interview with him on, oh shit, this is terrible on me. He was plugging something he's got coming up. It was another, whatever Sam Raimi's up to, he's got, some stuff going on for him. And it's still at 65 or whatever the fuck Bruce Campbell is just the funniest, smartest, wittiest, sharpest, freaking dude that's ever existed, and a fucking classy. He was at a Comic-Con, and because he makes quite a bit of money doing that. And he was talking about this dude who came up and was like, "Yeah, I got I got a tattoo of you, and oh yeah, okay, cool. You know, like I've never heard that before. Oh, look, you got the Necronomicon tattooed on your leg. No, the dude had the entire fucking poster of Army of Darkness tattooed on his back. And Bruce Campbell was like, okay, all right, stop the fucking show. Stop the fucking show. And Bruce Campbell made him take his shirt off, and he walked him all around Comic-Con showing that dude's tattoo off to everybody who could fucking see it. Because it was like, that's amazing. We are done. This Comic-Con is now about you.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
He said it, and it was like, it was perfect, like undistinguishable between the two. But the other thing he said is that the only thing he doesn't like doing Comic-Cons is when there's like, you know, the other people that have some cred that people want to get their signatures, and they're always bums. He's like, you know, they show up in fucking sweatpants and a t-shirt, and they look like shit, and they get, you know, they take their picture, and it's like, what the fuck? He's there in Groovy Bruce attire, you know, white tuxedo, looking sharp as a fucking, you know,
yeah.
He's a boss. He's a fucking stud. And he's like, yeah, I'm giving pictures of myself to people that they're going to have for the rest of their lives and proudly display. And you fucking show up in sweats? That's how you respect your fans? No, you put on a fucking 3-piece. And I'm like,
yeah.
Top of the hat there, Bruce Campbell. You're one cool guy.
He's just a classy dude.
He's just a fucking classy dude.
Like,
yeah,
I remember when we went and saw him in Boise, and yes, he made fun of my stupid ass question, but I just wanted to talk to him so bad and just to be called on. I was so damn excited, and he made me laugh at my stupidity. But I mean, it was also all in good fun, and he didn't do it to be malicious, but it was just like, he was just so on top of it.
Yep.
How do you feel about writing a book? Well, I feel pretty damn good about it. I did write it.
I wrote 5 of them, so apparently I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a statue.
I also like that he brought his own chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust these guys. All right, let's get into this thing.
I did have one more budgetary concern, was that apparently the Christmas music would have been too expensive even for the low end sellout Christmas music so the director just used a MIDI controller and GarageBand to do all of the atmospheric Christmas music for the in-store.
Good work. That's efficient. All right, so what we got is, and it's not quite Black Friday yet. Open on, I think this is a different store, right? Or is that this store? Where
this
the
is
first
the
store is
the
a different
lot.
store.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, got a dude. He's getting ready for Black Friday. He's doing it in the dark for some reason, hanging up banisters and all that. There's people pounding on the glass. It's mayhem already. And
that's what happens, Justin, is that you cannot, when you work retail, it's my understanding that you cannot turn on the lights, because as a customer, if I see lights on and people walking in there, I want you to let me in.
That's a good point. Maybe that's a little more authenticity that this film delivers up as far as that. So nice catch, Jack.
Because you don't want to be the guy that's standing in front of everybody going, I can't open the door, I don't have a key.
However, if you are getting on top of a ladder to hang a banner, you should probably have somebody holding a flashlight or something, because you're going to fall off of that ladder if you're doing this in the dark. It's a one-way ticket to the ground.
Happy birthday to the ground.
With your
There's
face.
actually a whole section of the OSHA handbook that's ladder safety, and this guy's breaking all of it.
So he rounds a corner, and there he finds a meteorite that's crashed through the roof. That's goop. It's a goop meteorite.
Yep.
And
Space goop.
Space goop. And inside of it is some sort of face-hugging device that latches onto him to death. Blood everywhere.
And this is the point where I'm like, did I make a bad choice? Is this going to be a goopy movie and I'm going to be pissed?
Yeah, you're in trouble, lady, because I would say it is. That turns him into a zombie, and he runs around and kills the other guys at the store, and that's that for them.
But what
and they
kind of
bitch
gets
at
me
him
is
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of deserved it. But what got me was that when the first guy gets it right, it looks like every time that this white thing comes out, it reminds me of a basketball net.
Okay. Yeah, it's netty.
And so every time that I saw it, the first thought in my head was nothing but net. I said, got him.
There is a lizard on this planet. I think it's a lizard or it's a frog. And its tongue is made out of this. And it is the thing of nightmares. It is disgusting.
Its tongue is made out of spaghetti?
It literally is. It's like a net. And it defies physics because it's different shaped every time that it sticks its tongue. It's gross. Don't look up this lizard or frog or whatever it is on the internet. Like I saw it on a nature show and I had to look away. I was like, oh God, it's a thing of nightmares.
Have you seen the shrimp that has like the whip thing?
The what?
That goes faster than the sound barrier underwater.
The what?
It's like a shrimp that has like a mouth whip deal.
Huh? No, I don't think I have.
And it goes. I think it breaks the sound barrier underwater. It boils the water around it when it strikes.
Crazy. Huh?
It hits like a bullet.
That's what global warming is really about. Shrimps.
Okay. Well, actually it is, Jackie, because if the coral reefs all die off, then the shrimp all die off, then the fish die off, and then we die off. So, yeah. So don't.
And then we won't be able to be killed by these when they mutate into giant shrimp that have cannon mouths and they come on land and start shooting all of us with their whip faces. We'll be like, we're already dead from global warming, fuckers.
So they walk down our streets, and the only word that they know is Sizzler.
What?
Yeah, all you can eat. All you can eat is Sizzler. They're taking down the Sizzler, Jackie. That's their motivation for revenge against the land. The land people have taken our brethren and made it cheap to eat all of them for as much as you can at a place called Sizzler. In their sea language, they say this. This is translated. And then they hatch a plan to destroy all the Sizzlers. It's revenge. Trust me on this one. Okay, so elsewhere we've got Ken. He's got 2 daughters that he loves very much. They think the world of him. He's dropping them off at their mother's and their mother's new husband. And he has to go to work.
He's just a boyfriend, right?
Whatever.
No.
He's a douche
I don't know.
either way.
Yeah. Notice.
Either way, this dad is like, you can tell he had a midlife crisis and slept with some 20-year-old. I mean, you could just tell just by looking at him in the first scene. You're like, oh, you're one of those dads. Like, you only have to be cool once a week.
Judgy.
And you don't discipline anybody.
Judgy. Man.
I guess I'll just quit this podcast now.
Sam, you never cheated on your baby mama.
No, I don't date 20-year-olds.
And you don't
I'm
date
usually
20-year-olds
cool
you
more
find
than
them.
once a week.
Yeah, because you're, I don't know, you've got class. You're not this guy.
No, he's not. No, that is none of those things are correct at all. We're not.
I wouldn't buy an SUV.
Parenting, please. Okay. Elsewhere, we've got Chris. He's headed to work. Family's disappointed in him. They think he's a waste of human life working the retail, and that he's friends with Ken because Ken comes picks him up, and it's time to go open up for Black Friday.
Well, I like that.
And he's also a germaphobe.
Okay.
When he's leaving and he can't go to Thanksgiving, his dad's like the biggest horse's ass on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And he says like, well, as long as dad's gonna keep charging me rent, I'll have to work this job. Then nobody says anything. He's like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. All right, so there's already a line at their store that they work at. It's called We Heart Toys. And they're not going to make it, you know? 2021 store full toys. Yeah, they're not.
Well, I think this is post the this was just an empty former Babies R Us from when Toys R Us went under.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was so easy to get the location.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, so Ken, he's there doing some retail stuff, flirting with someone who's 15 years his younger, which at first in this, I was like, gross, this is not going to be one of those movies. But it turns out it's not one of those movies.
No.
It has a course correction on the Ken pretty hard in the third act.
Yeah.
There's various retail hijinks going on and dialogue. What's that Seth Rogen movie? Is that 40-Year-Old Virgin when they're working at the Best Buy?
Yeah. It's actually
lots of that.
What's his face movie? Seth Rogen's just in it.
Yeah, but there's lots of that. Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Judd Apatow, and then Steve Carell is the star of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Right. But I remember they
Seth
were
at
Rogen
Best Buy, yeah,
retail business the most.
Something like that.
There's that. That's what's happening. But we'll skip all that because it's not relevant. This dude goes out for a smoke break, and there he gets locked out and then attacked by, I'm assuming, one of the zombies from across the street, and now he has been zombified. Bruce Campbell, he's the manager. He comes on the radio, gives everybody a little pep talk. It's pretty crappy, and lets them know that corporate says there will be no paid breaks during this Black Friday. And everybody's like, you suck, but we're still getting our bonuses, right? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure you are.
Well, so the whole paid break thing is totally illegal. You can't do that.
The no paid break thing.
Yeah, the no paid break.
Yeah, it's very illegal. Doors open. People pour in. There's some old bitch. This is the Jackie met who wanted Jumanji. Because this lady.
This is the Jumanji lady for sure.
She's pulling a Karen here. And they tell her to, okay, well, we'll get you taken care of in the back or the manager's place. And so she goes and sits on Santa's chair because that's the kind of Karen that she actually is. But underneath Santa's chair is a goop meteorite.
Yeah, how did it get there? The other one shot through the roof. This one just tumbled in.
Maybe somebody like wasn't quite fully zombified yet, and so like they brought it in and was like, this is a good hiding spot for.
They ran it in from 10 yards out in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is all part of the plan. I mean, it's got. I don't know. That's a good point, Sam. It didn't crash through the roof. Chris, he's told to clean up some puke in the back, and so he goes and gets the bucket and shows up to clean up puke. But it's not puke. It's zombie stuff. Whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe zombie puked or it's just.
It looks like a zombie boil pop.
Okay.
It's because it's reproductive in a way. It's pretty much zombie spooge. Space zombie spooge.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gross. Don't touch that. That's icky. Some guy attacks him, and then some lady, after he throws the first dude off, and he kills her with a mop or something. I can't remember what he hits her
Skateboard?
with. Yeah, skateboard. And everybody's like, oh my God, you killed a customer. So they shut the store down, evacuate the whole place, and Chris...
Oh no, he drops
a Barbie car on her.
No, it's the balls. It's the Tower of Balls.
That killed her?
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
The rack weighs like 8 pounds and it's full of bouncy balls.
Huh. But they think that he killed her.
Yeah, they've zip tied him to a chair. Like Guantanamo
which is also
Bay
super
almost.
Illegal.
Yeah.
You cannot zip tie employees to the chair.
You can citizen arrest somebody. I don't think that's illegal.
Can you zip tie them to the chair for hitting somebody with bouncy balls?
Actually, no, because wouldn't that... okay, I'm not an attorney or anything. I don't know. I'm starting to question whether citizen arrest is even a thing. Because if you citizen arrest somebody and zip tie them to a chair in a locked room, isn't that false imprisonment at the minimum?
Yeah, so if you pull a citizen's arrest and you're wrong, you will get arrested for assault and false imprisonment.
Kidnapping.
So you better be right about your citizen's arrest. The more you know.
better be careful. Top
Sam's
tip.
like, because this has happened to me.
Better off just hitting him with a right cross and wandering away.
Getting back in the truck and driving off.
You have cold cock him and drive off.
But another zombie tries to get the new guy in front of him, and everybody sees it. And so Ken, the dad, saves everybody by this one gets hit with the skateboard, right?
Yeah, this is the skateboard.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Bruce Campbell, he thinks, oh, no, you're killing the customers. These aren't zombies. This is just what Black Friday looks like. They're going nuts. Let's open it back up. And then the new guy, he's like, I don't feel so good. Bleh, and barfs his way to being a zombie. And they're like, nope, now we've got, see, he just killed the employee of the month. So... don't think
Which nobody was sad about because she was just a super bitch.
She was a bitch, yeah.
And she's shitty even as a zombie because throughout the movie she sort of like comes back a couple times, but she never really even does good as a zombie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see
She
her
just
really.
sucks.
Yeah. God. Cindy.
Anita.
Yeah. God. Michael J. White, though, he's like, I've got a nail gun. And this is my least favorite part of this movie is the fucking nail gun. I am over the nail gun in movies. Anybody knows how nail guns work? They don't work as weapons, and I'm tired of them being used. There's other lethal devices that would work better.
At least
power tools.
Puts pressure on the front of the nail gun against the person. He doesn't just shoot them.
But even then, it's not going to kill you.
It sucks.
It would piss you off pretty goddamn good, but...
you could nail somebody with a 16 penny, and if it penetrated into the heart, they're in trouble. They're probably not going to make it without medical attention immediately.
Why would a real estate...
or the brain.
Why would a retail maintenance person be using 16 penny nails for anything?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Why does he even have a nail gun?
Drill. A fucking drill.
No, I was going to say, wasn't he the guy who was bringing the toys? But no, that was somebody else.
Yeah, he's just the maintenance guy.
He's the warehouse manager, I'm guessing.
Okay, that maybe.
So he probably has a knife, a utility knife, a screwdriver, like a 6-in-1 screwdriver. He has access to a couple of drills. And other than that, he's got like a pry bar that he keeps away from everyone else so they don't fuck stuff up with it, but we will have to use it on certain crates.
Maybe a Sawzall. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He may have a Sawzall. That would be more plausible than a fucking nail gun, and you could do more shit with the Sawzall. It's funnier. The nail gun
I thought
is
that
butt.
nail guns also required you to have a compressor.
They have battery-powered nail guns
yeah,
now.
Most, but not all.
Oh, okay.
They don't work for
They
shit.
don't. They will... As long as you only need to get about 15 or 20 nails in, they're going to be just fine.
Or you're doing Brad work, like paneling, finish carpentry.
Yeah, if it's little stuff, finished, they go all day.
But that's not going to go through your dome. A Brad nail? No, that's going to bounce right off.
Pierce some nipples.
Might pierce your nipples.
Yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
Give it to me. Dirty zombies. They don't even have any nipples because the monster later doesn't. He's like, oh no, my finish nailer.
Okay. They call the other store, the other We Heart Toys in town, and it's under attack. And the lady on the phone says they're building something. Oh, okay. But then they all die. they go out to the floor where the shoppers have taken over. They're back in, and they are also building something, but they don't know what. Jackie's a little hooked at this point because they're building something. She wants to know what they're building.
And the monster goop is pretty minimal for goopy monsters.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, it's not... It's bearable up at this point, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm safe. It's fine.
Well,
I'm not going to get grossed out.
Bruce Campbell and Ken, they got to go to the bathroom, and there inside is the truck driver, the delivery truck driver, who went earlier to go take a Mad Duke, but he's now a zombie, which also doesn't make sense because he was in there by himself. How did he get zombified?
And he just stood there after he turned into a zombie and was like, I'll wait here for them to come to me.
The other three dudes, they're out on the sales floor sneaking around to close the door that let the zombies back in. And Ruth, the old lady, and what's our Mankey? What's the gal's name? Monty? Marnie. They're watching from the security monitors in the office. Well, the truck driver, he attacks in the bathroom, and Ken ends up stabbing him with a wine bottle that they broke that was in Ken's secret stash. And Bruce Campbell.
Ken's an alcoholic, just in case you haven't picked up on this. He's got a flask. He's got hidden bottles throughout the store. I mean, you know why he got divorced.
I think that's the one thing that Bruce Campbell and him get along with. Like, hey, you should be fired, but nice that you've got. You know what? I'm okay with this.
He's like, that I didn't think. I've got like 20 of those hidden there in here, and I didn't ever think about up there. That's good. I like that.
So Marnie goes to check out what they're making, and my note is it's a light up blob.
It is a light up blob. It's a pulsating light up blob.
Pulsating light up blob. Did the blob, did it light up, or was it just like, I remember it being like molasses, just molasses coming through town.
It was because the black and white one's really the only one to watch. So it's just black corn syrup.
Yeah. It didn't light up
bigger. Though. It just gets bigger. It gets bigger and it consumes everything, and there's nothing you can do. And when you think about it, it's actually like, wow, that's really fucking scary because you can't stop it at all.
So
it just consumes and gets bigger.
So it's just an allegory for corporate America.
Maybe.
Nobody liked my sweet,
I don't know.
Sweet diss.
Do we have to think this hard about it?
Blob. The blob is just Elon. I see. A movie
but
ahead
it's
of its
not
time.
Because the blob's not going to do layoffs. It's just going to keep eating shit.
And it's actually smarter. Ellen. Ken wants his bonus. He's pissed off. He's like, I've had enough. I'm going to take my bonus and leave. So he goes to the cash register to pull it out. There are no bonuses. What? No Christmas bonuses. Oh, yeah. And also, I'm going to have to lay all you guys off. Actually, I'm okay with that part.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. It like tries to touch on that idea that like really everything that corporate structures do, there's nothing that isn't about sort of shareholder maximization. That, okay, well, we need to do 6 figures tonight. And the second that we do that, your asses are gone. Nobody gets any bonuses.
How are they going to do six figures in a day? Doesn't that kind of seem unrealistic?
No, I would think that if you're a retailer, you'd have to do 6 figures to fucking be open on Black Friday.
Wow. It's a lot of money.
So I did the math one time at a sports bar, the Crescent Sports Bar in Boise, Idaho. During a football game, they could do up to $75,000 in one night. A bar. So a retailer needs to be able to do 6 figures if they can do 5.
Yeah. Okay. All All right. All right. So the cop car, it comes in, smashes into the windows. Oh, no. The zombies are pouring in. They call them shoppers. They don't call them zombies. The shoppers. Michael J. White, he's like, I'm going to go kick some ass. But he does not. He instead gets gooped and then pulled into his doom, and his guts come out. And I was quite disappointed by this. I think he should have came back, or I think he should have been doing some more badass shit. And like, it just seemed like, and Michael J. White's dead.
Yeah, but he was there for a day. And that's what you could get out of him is like the minimal amount of choreography that it took to throw that person through a shelf. One sort of meh fight sequence and a few lines. So that's your day of Michael J. White on whatever day rate he has.
It's too bad. It's too bad. Chris is chased into the back, and Marnie pipe wrenches the new guy because he is still a zombie running around. I guess she kills him this time. Maybe not. They barricade the door. It doesn't
seem like they die.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
it seems like they get knocked out, and then they just come back.
They barricade the door, and the power goes out. Oh, no. And then they sit around and bitch about working retail for
a long time.
Some time.
They are in the break room for a long time.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad at this point because they're like, I've been here for 15 years. I've been here for 5 years. Been here for 6 months. And they're all like, and we're all just a bunch of fucking losers. Except for Bruce Campbell. He's like, I love being here because the cool guy has to kneel down to me. And he's like just totally all about
power.
Yeah.
It's his lone
the power
source
dynamic
of power.
That he gets, right? And he says, this is the only thing I have in my life. Which, you know what? Explains every single fucking manager I ever had in retail.
Yeah. Power.
Yep.
Gross. Ugh. Then everybody comes after Ken for some reason. They're like, oh yeah, Ken, you're just here because you want to be the cool guy. You're the cool guy at everything. You're so cool. But really, you're just a huge fucking piece of shit. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? Our boss just told us that he, like, wants to dominate you. Yeah. And you're coming after me for having, like, an okay haircut and a little midlife earring and I'm working on the Corvette, but you're coming after me? Huh. Okay. Well, fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys.
And the rest, they hatch a plan to get into the delivery van. The delivery van's still backed up to the loading dock, and so they can just get in it, climb through some hatch that leads to the cab, and drive away. Zombie free.
Which is great, because there isn't one, which I liked that in the movie, too, because they're like, there's got to be a hatch to the cab, and I was like, in a box truck, there is not.
There's not, no.
There's a box back there that you put shit in, and that's it. Then they get back there, and they're like, damnedest thing. This has been built to the minimum standards of doing its job. How strange.
Oh, but the new guy isn't dead. Oh, no. And he grabs Ken. Oh, and Ken gets bit. Oh, no, Ken. The rest, they get into the delivery van bed, and they're looking around trying to find the hatch, and they can't. There's a bunch of boxes, and they talk about some more stuff. Chris is chased into the cab because they eventually find an air vent that he climbs through, and so he gets in the cab, and he realizes, oh, shit, I can't drive a fucking big rig? I don't know. I drove a box van. It's just a fucking van.
The box van, the other wonderful part about a box van being to the minimum standards of it being able to do its job is that you do not have to have a CDL to drive them as long as they're under a certain weight, which is most of them, so you can hire any schmo to drive it, and it's a fucking automatic. So you just start it like a car, put it into gear, and realize this is bigger than my Suzuki.
It's a U-Haul. That's all they are. It's a U-Haul. Yeah. Okay, whatever. But you can't.
He can drive a forklift, but he can't figure out a fucking box truck.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good job, Chris. Too many buttons.
And who nominated him to go? You know, that's what I want to know. It's like, as the group, right? I kind of questioned this decision. Like, let's put the little nutsack in charge that doesn't have a car and that all he can do is drive the forklift.
Maybe he was the only one that could fit through the hole, the vent.
He could fit through small spaces.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm surprised that their box truck even has a vent. Usually it's just a roll-up door and a box.
Yeah. So Ken's getting pursued all over the place. He's still inside the store. And this whole movie, they've been talking about this bear. It's like a... what was that little talking bear?
Dower Dennis is the
Dower
name
Dennis.
of the bear.
But it's like a... Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, it's like a Teddy Ruxpin. Sure. But it's an animatronic thing that will definitely not kill your child while it sleeps, as it strangles it on accident, even if it's not defective. You can't have an animatronic fucking... I'm going to sleep next to... you're choking me.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But it's defective, and so he throws this one into a pile of cardboard, and it ignites, and now the store's on fire, and there is the old bitch from the beginning. She has now turned into the Grinch and is stalking him.
She's a booby space zombie boob monster.
Yeah, old lady.
Yeah.
She looks kind of like the monster from Bubba Hotep as well.
A bit. But she's got that smashed face like the Grinch does. Ran into a wall. Your snoot's not very big. So the group goes back into the warehouse, and they're like, warehouse. And Bruce Campbell's like, let's get on the roof. So they climb up on the roof, and then Bruce gives a speech about something like, I'm taking you suckers down. And he jumps into the skylight and dies. I didn't really get that.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm out of this movie. Hops down a hole. But it does like quell the zombies, I guess.
He does, yeah, he did
which
something.
Which would have been becoming one with the thing if this is what's happening here.
Well, the thing doesn't matter because it breaks through the sunlight, the blob. It's so big now that it's reached the roof, and it's like and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the assistant manager, we haven't even talked about him, but he's kind of a douche. He confesses that he bit Ken to trick Ken into leaving the group because Ken is a douche.
And that's going to somehow benefit them in some way.
So he
and also Ken's like, I've seen this thing mouth to mouth space zombie, but it bit me, so I should like separate myself from the group.
It's funny how these are like hamburger eating teeth marks that are in me, whereas the zombies have like venom style teeth that would actually probably have taken my whole arm off. This mark here on my arm's got like dental work done to it. It's like somebody's gum.
Is that a cap mark?
Yeah, somebody's gum is stuck to my arm right now. But yeah, no, that's a zombie.
Right. I've been bitten, but it didn't break the skin, so I think I'm okay.
mushy assistant manager style teeth is what it looks like.
Yeah. The zombie had gum.
It's a breath mint. All right, so old lady, Grinch, monster, grabs Ken. Wait, what? I can't read my notes. Grinch grabs Ken while en roof, says he bit Ken. I guess that's just an extension from my previous note. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't read my own handwriting.
He's decided to put on one roller skate for some reason, and then that's how it gets him.
Yeah, he's scooting around.
So, but then the monster's like, I'm going to kill you. And then it's like, wait, no, I'm going to become one with the big thing. And it turns around and starts becoming one. And then he like grabs something and throws it against her butt. And it bothers her sort of.
Right.
And then he's like, I'm out of here. And she's like, blah, blah, blah. It was a real weird scene.
It was weird.
Yeah, because she doesn't care. She's, I'm
going to be a blob monster, too.
Yeah.
Marnie, she's punched the assistant manager off the roof into the dumpster. And
and then fallen in after him.
Right. And Chris is like, I can do it, too. Ah! And he falls into the dumpster.
But he lands on a crate, and it goes through his chest. He dies. It just bleeds out.
Yeah, right. Oh.
That's why you don't jump into dumpsters, people. You don't know what's in there.
That's right.
So the group runs to the parking lot, and there they see the blob emerge, and it breaks through the roof, and it reveals its true form, and it's a kaiju shopper. Oh, no! Shapura!
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to say that this was a throwback to another movie that I saw when I was looking for the worst Thanksgiving movies, to one called like Blood Freak.
Okay.
And it was about
we did Blood Freak
on the
podcast, Jackie.
Yeah, but was it about the chicken man?
Yeah.
That would only attack virgins.
Maybe.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Really?
Yeah, no,
did anybody else?
Yeah, I guess
no,
kinda.
it just looked like goopy. Just like a goop face. Just a big goop face.
It was two faces. One was like a bird face, and then the other was a person face. I don't know where the bird came in. And it's got a chicken wing.
Yeah, it has a chicken wing. So it is a big turkey.
Maybe this one
it's a turkey.
Fell into a KFC.
It's a fucking turkey. God damn it.
It's a space turkey. They needed to draw more attention to the space turkey. That would be awesome. Like, this would go up a whole nother level to me. Like, if it was space turkeys from space that are they're going to eat us on Thanksgiving. That's like way cooler than ambiguously figuring out that it might be that. If the movie drew attention, because it has a turkey wing.
Yeah.
It looks like a big, ugly turkey. That's what it is, right?
Shopper.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I think they needed to flush that out in the movie.
I didn't make the connection until just now. I mean, my whole joke is that it's named Shapura, but it should have been something more turkey related. I should have looked up how to say turkey in Japanese, and then it added Zilla onto the end of it, and I would have had a much better kaiju name. But the movie fucking stole that opportunity from me. Funny jokes, movie, you've taken from me for the last time. Okay. So, Brian, who the fuck is Brian? Oh, yeah, the assistant manager guy.
The assistant manager is Brian.
He tries to reason with it. Trust me, I know shoppers. I am the only one who can speak to Shapura. So he walks up there and he's like, yeah, it sucks pretty hard not getting what you want. And you're waiting in line, and the turkey's like, punt. And punts him across the parking lot.
With his little turkey leg. It was awesome. That was like one of the best parts of this movie.
Probably. Ken runs out and he does the distraction thing. Hey, I'm over here. Eat me. While Chris gets in a forklift and the turkey tongue white thing. No, the shopper's tongue face comes out and sticks onto the forklift, and he's backing up like a slingshot. And then it launches into its eye, and it's like, forklift to my eye. And then it falls.
It was already on fire.
It's pretty on fire.
Maybe it's fire resistant, because it is awfully goopy.
Okay. Well, it's
so
not. So
maybe it was like, it secretes fire retardant.
It's not forklift resistant, because it goes down. And when it falls, it takes the rest of We Heart Toys with it. Destruction. So the group is like, okay, what do we do now? We go out for pancakes. But as they drive away...
serving pancakes?
There was something mentioned. Oh, he was supposed to go on a date with Marnie. Ken was supposed to go on a date with Marnie, and they were going to get pancakes. And she's like, but we're not even dating, Ken, because you're 15 years my elder. We forgot to do that scene where they throw down on Ken.
She's just screwing him in the break room.
They were making out in the back, Sam. Heavy petting at most.
Oh, that sucks. Ken sucks.
I thought you were my girlfriend.
Yeah,
She's like, no, dude, I was just bored. Oh. And then Ken runs to the bathroom and cries, my midlife. Ah. So they go out for pancakes, but the problem is there's kaiju Shapura everywhere.
Yep.
They're taking over. And that's the end of the movie. That went by pretty quick. We're only at an hour, folks, so I hope you got some questions.
So is this everywhere or just in this one town?
Well, the way I understand meter rights work, Sam, is it would pretty much just be in one localized area. They don't come from all the Earth is a sphere, Sam. Yes.
See, that's the thing that. So, like, the National Guard's just like, we're gonna let this play out for a while.
It's just Des Moines, you know.
They're napping from eating too much turkey.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, and the football. They got they're now watching the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's just Des Moines. Dak Prescott's going to do something today for once.
Honey, there's giant turkey monsters outside the Walmart. Shut up. Cowboys are playing the Commanders. And you get all mad because you want to be racist still and you can't. Not help anybody. Fucking Commanders.
Honey, the kaiju's getting closer. Fuck the Commanders.
Fuck the Commanders.
The Washington football team.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, it's localized and yeah. Jackie, question.
So, do you think that I can't remember, the old guy or the mid-crisis guy?
Jesus.
Ken. Sorry. Do you think that he still tries to make Maui his girlfriend?
Marnie?
Yes.
He is taking her out for pancakes.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Literally.
He's going to make out with her in front of that guy.
Uh-huh.
Make it official?
And she's like, my hero. Even though it wasn't him that did anything, it was Chris.
Yep.
Who is of a similar age to Marnie. And actually seems like if he just quit this job, he's got all the potential to actually put his life together and do something with it. Whereas Ken is done.
Yeah.
Well,
she's pretty dumb too. So
yeah, Marnie's not a catch.
Whatever.
Marnie's not real good for much either. So, yeah. All right, Ken. Which, I mean, let's face it. This is another accurate thing about retail is like,
yes,
the hot chick is kind of not great.
Yeah, the only reason the three of them aren't going to work there for the rest of their lives is because it just burned down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, she's not Pam from The Office. Like, she's not the perfect woman. She kind of sucks as well. And so gets retail right. Does it get monsters right? No, it didn't, because we couldn't figure out that it was a turkey. God damn it.
Until it was too late, yeah. And then it's like a multiplicative thing. There wasn't a lot of thinking. You didn't have to do a lot of thinking in this movie, but it wasn't... I don't know.
Okay. Anybody else
what
got
happens? Well, so like how many jets does it... So how many sorties do they have to fly to kill these turkey kaijus? Like, we're talking about like 2 Harriers are taking all these fuckers out, right?
Yeah, right. It's a forklift. I mean, it's just a forklift. And it didn't even really get it. It was on fire,
too.
It didn't even really get it, like, really that good. It stood there for a while and was like, my eye face thing. And then it went over. Like, yeah, these aren't a problem.
No.
We got these.
So 2 Harriers clean up this whole thing.
The problem is
some barrel rolls afterwards.
Once you have one kaiju or worse, an invading force of kaiju, Then the other kaiju from space are like, oh, we must defend Earth from other kaiju. So Gamera shows up, and then Gamera really does actually fuck up a lot of shit in its war against the turkey kaiju. So,
yeah,
not helping Gamera. Get out of here. We got this one. Oh, and then it turns into a flying disc of turtle death and just takes out building after building after building. Thanks, Gamera.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. What are we going to do? Tell Gamera to fuck off? Then Gamera's going to shoot laser beams at us. It's a turtle. They have laser beams in space. We have to, like,
but these wouldn't
Gamera.
last very long against Gamera at all.
No. But like I say, nothing else does.
Too squishy and dumb.
Yeah. I thought I had a.
Well, and like while they were growing, didn't anybody have the idea of like, let's just pop it and see what happens?
Like, put a pin in it, or
like, yeah, like a blister. You know, like it's obviously swelling into something. So, I mean, what do you do when something's swelling? You pop it, right?
Makes that balloon squeal.
Or one of the things that Archie, the warehouse manager, probably would have had was a benzomatic torch.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I mean, it's a small torch, but let's see if this thing likes fucking fire. Turns out it doesn't. Nothing does.
God damn it. Fucking retail workers. They never know how to fight monsters. Except for Shaun of the Dead.
Except for there's Ash.
And Ash, yeah. Shop S, Mart.
So,
damn it.
like 3/4 of the way through this movie before it becomes a giant monster, and I'm like, okay, well, it's totally different. But like 3/4 of the way through the movie, you're just like, this is seriously just Night of the Living Dead.
Pretty much.
Space. And I wonder, and here's my question. Has Night of the Living Dead been copied so much that you can inadvertently copy it without knowing that you're doing that?
I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Other than its social context and subplots that it manages to execute quite well.
Quite well, yes.
No. Yeah, you could. I don't have any questions. Are we ready to wrap this guy up?
Yeah.
I'm getting pretty tired. I'll go first on final recommendations. Believe it or not, I'm going to give this a do. It's not a great do. It's kind of disappointing. Like, it's a lot of missed opportunities in this movie that it could have been good. Like, the script is fucking terrible. Like, the whole Michael J. White one-liner thing, like, his one-liners suck real bad. They don't line up with anything, and it's groan-inducing. And, like, I think the concept was there for a really fun movie. I'm thinking, like, Tucker and Dale. Like, if that it had been executed in the manner of Tucker and Dale, probably would have been pretty fun. But it just was kind of mediocre. But I like the turkey monster. I like the guy getting punted. I like all of the Bruce Campbell stuff. I actually didn't hate the retail dialogue stuff. I thought some of that was, authentic. And, I thought it was fun that they were bitching more about their jobs than they were about the zombie attack. But for the most part, it was, like, again, a lot of missed opportunities. But very efficient. Because this was super budget and had some decent practical effects and some decent makeup. And at no point was I like, that looks terrible.
The giant monster was digital composition that didn't look near as bad as it should have for how much this cost.
Right. So, I'd say do. I think it's a fine. It's not a fine. It's a good use of a Sunday movie. Sam.
If you're giving it a 51% do, I'm giving it a 49% don't. We can't unanimously give, because it's not very good. That's the thing. It's got some moments. It's got, most of them involve Bruce Campbell just sort of meandering through a scene as he can. It's not very good. It sucks pretty bad. It's better than a lot of zombie movies, but that doesn't take much and doesn't say much. So, like, there was a couple of parts that I was like, if this would have happened, maybe. If this was a little better, maybe. It's that 51%, but it got me to a 49%. I'm saying don't.
Okay. Jackie.
You know, I'm also kind of on the fence on this one because I was semi-entertained. I love Bruce Campbell, but the overall of it was just kind of boring. But you know what? I'm going to give it a do.
I have nothing to compliment it on, but I'm going to give it a do.
It wasn't, well, she just said it wasn't boring. It entertained her. That's right. You guys, I knew it was going to be 251, so I had to be a 49.
You know, the thing is it's not boring, but the problem with it is that it's just all stuff we've already seen 1,000 times. Like you said, you know, it doesn't even realize that it's just a copy. And there's just very little originality in it. And so it makes it boring, even though it's not boring.
And it's kind of original because it's a giant monster out of the meteoroid space zombie, but it just doesn't play in any way that is original.
But I think we can all agree that it could have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too bad.
Yeah.
It's just too bad. So that's your show. I know it's a short one, guys, but there's just not a lot of meat here to dissect. So we're going to move on. And next week we will be off because we will be hanging out with Sam in person, and we're not going to record. So that's just the way it is. You guys can run and go cry to your mommies.
Watch some Washington Commander football.
Oh, and by the way, since you're crying to your mommies, get your mommies to listen to the podcast. Be like, wow,
yeah, sure.
So Stinker Madness, it's a podcast you'd like. You should check it out. It's Bad Movies by Bad Movie Lovers on Bad Movie Lovers. I don't know. Check it out. Anyways, guys, have a great week and get to the chopper. Actually, I have 2 great weeks and get to those choppers too.
Yes.